Hello, Steve Ross, Alternate Reality Channel, back to talk about what the book is about. I know it's hard to tell from the title, Alternate Reality, the mostly true story of how I became a sociopath. It's about relationships. It's kind of hard to nail down. There's a lot of different things that the book is about, but for the most part, it's relationships. It's the comical telling of my failed relationships and mishaps, and but it's about different things. It is about how I became a sociopath, and that was through my first relationship was very dysfunctional, and through that and some other things going on in my life, I really got messed up in the head, and it happens to a lot of people. And I'll have another video explaining more about sociopathy and sociopaths. But for this one, I just want to talk about what the book's about. So the story talks about my life through a series of misadventures in relationships, starting with the first one. And then what happens is we get messed up in the head. We have a bad relationship, we have a bad experience, and what we do is we put on protective devices and things that'll keep us from getting hurt again. And what happens is, so we have a bad relationship and we get hurt because something went wrong with it, and so we take that baggage, that emotional baggage, into the next relationship. And that baggage eventually messes up that new relationship. And then we start another one, and now we have two pieces or more of emotional baggage going into that relationship. And so it has this snowball effect. And then each person brings their own baggage to the relationships, which just packs on and packs on. So it's very hard to break that cycle of bringing that baggage with you and then carrying it into the next relationship and then dooming that one. And so the book is in part, the big part of it is about that and what goes wrong and bringing that baggage, emotional baggage, into the next relationship. Alternate reality is the concept of, like, for example, I was married for over 30 years. My wife and I, living in the same house with the same children, both of us have totally different realities of what was going on. And the same thing with my kids. My son and my daughter in the same house with the exact same parents, and they're living two totally different realities. So everybody lives a different reality, but we have this flaw, I guess you can call it, that we don't really see the other person's reality, because in part that their reality is based on their life experiences from the time they were 2 or 3 years old, is when they can remember, and we haven't lived the exact same life experiences. So everybody has a different reality that they bring to the table, and those the difference between those realities can also make or break a relationship. So there's a lot about alternate realities and that stuff in the book. So another purpose of the book, another thing that the book is about, is these, when I went off the deep end, in my overcorrection, I was not a good person. I was a very bad womanizer, and I did a lot of things that were wrong, and I didn't know any better, or I didn't care at that point. I had been hurt myself so much that so the book has a lot of stuff in there about that and how that was always a failure. And also at one point in my life, I snapped out of it. Something happened. I met the right person, and that person changed my outlook and everything about what I wanted to do with my life. And from that, it was a very hard struggle to get back on track. And then eventually, I got control of my life and control of my emotions and what I was doing, and really focused on being a good father and raising my children and being a good husband and provider and stuff. So this is kind of how I fell from grace and destroyed everything I touched, and then eventually saw what I wanted and worked my way toward it and worked my way out of the abyss. And so it's kind of an overcoming that type of adversity story. Now, I know everybody has had that kind of adversity at bad relationships and stuff like that. And hopefully the book can give you some good insight on what was wrong with mine. Another reason that the book is there is if I was educated about this, or my family was, because I was too young. I was 7 when this stuff started to unravel. If my family would have known about this stuff and read a book like this, they would have been able to spot that there was something wrong with me and they needed to get me help. So hopefully this book is going to help people in that way. I've already had people that bought it and read it and loved it and let me know that they have children who are going through some stuff, and it really helped them to understand and know what to do to help their children out. So hopefully this book will change lives and in a big way. So it's so the book is about a lot of different things, but from the reviews and people who have told me that they thought it was very entertaining, they had a good time reading it. It's funny. It has its own soundtrack, and I'll talk about the soundtrack. No, I'll talk about it now. Most movies and TV shows have a soundtrack. If you were to go watch a movie or watch a TV show that they didn't have a soundtrack, it would be boring. And the same thing with reading a book. Reading a book can be pretty exciting. Now add a soundtrack to that. So my book comes with a soundtrack, and there's a bunch of songs that basically fit whatever is going on in the story. For example, I have a story in there about losing my virginity, and you play Paradise by the Dashboard Light by Meatloaf. So all the songs are fitting, and some of them you'll be able to just jump up and dance around with while you're listening to them. I've got a playlist on this channel, and so you can look at that and hit the Alternate Reality playlist, and so that's where you could listen to them, or you can download it. Use legal means to download it on your iPods or whatever you're using, and use the music feature, because to me it's a huge difference. You might not like all the songs. There's a lot of different types of songs. Rascal Flatts is one of them, and I've got rap songs, R&B songs, Jackson 5 songs. Everybody loves those. But anyway, it's a great feature. Please use it. And again, hit the like and share notifications. And if you're interested in the book, the website, www.thealternaterealitybook.com. Have a good day. Bye. GoPro, stop recording.